Hello and welcome. I am beginning to pack for our upcoming trip to Universal Studios Orlando, and I'm reflecting on what I think are essential items to pack along for Universal Studios Orlando, or maybe any old theme park you might be visiting while in Florida. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this video. All right, let's get to it. The first item on this list is a small day pack. Not a big one, a small one. If it is at all possible, we try to avoid bringing anything larger than a small day pack into Universal Studios. In general, I don't enjoy carrying things around all day, so I always try to keep things to a minimum. But also in Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, you have to put your things into lockers before going on certain rides. And these lockers are small. You cannot fit much in them. There are bigger lockers available, but you'll have to pay for the extra space. So if you want to stick to the free lockers, you'll want to do your best to minimize what you bring into the parks. And that starts with a smaller bag. Tony and I like fanny packs personally because it's just big enough for our phones, chapstick, maybe a granola bar, but that is our preference. Next on our list is a lanyard. Universal Studios Orlando is a lanyard culture. It's not really a must, but they are handy to keep your tickets or express passes or annual passes protected and ready to scan. You can put your tickets on your phone, but the tricky issue is you'll need your tickets to scan in order to retrieve your things from ride lockers, and a couple of the more intense roller coasters require you to put your phones in the lockers as well. In that case, you'll need staff assistance to get your locker open again. It will take much less time and be less inconvenient to have your tickets printed out already. We got a free lanyard when we took the Universal Shuttle Star transportation from the airport to our resort, but they also sell lanyards in just about every gift shop, and of course you can buy one prior as well. Okay, and moving on to the next on our list, which is comfortable walking shoes. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's worth mentioning. Comfortable, supportive walking shoes. You want comfortable shoes that you know are going to be comfortable walking miles in and standing for long periods of the day. Tony and I love taking the walking path into City Walk because we find it so much more relaxing than bus transportation. But even if you take the bus, it's still a bit of a trek from the bus stop through security and finally to the entrance of the parks. For example, it is roughly a 1-mile walk from where bus transportation drops you off to Hogsmeade in Islands of Adventure. If you're staying at a resort with water taxi transportation, you'll save the most steps, but even then, it is still a good half-mile from one end of the park to the other, and that's just your first effort of the day trying to make it on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure before the line gets 150 minutes long. You just can't avoid it. You're going to have to walk and be on your feet at a theme park. It's just the nature of the beast. My unsolicited advice, or maybe it is solicited since you clicked on this video, is to train for the theme park in the walking shoes you plan to wear. Ideally, you are wearing proper walking shoes, supportive walking shoes, and you'll walk at least 3 miles for 4 or 5 times a week. You'll break the shoes in, and you'll also learn if these shoes give you blisters or rub in certain spots when you walk in them for longer than normal periods of time. The first time I went to Universal Studios, I thought I had the perfect theme park shoes. They were cute, they were comfortable, and I'd gone on 1-mile walks with my dog in them regularly, so I was convinced they'd be perfect. But once I was in Universal Studios, wearing them all day and walking 4 to 6 miles in them multiple days in a row, they rubbed horrifically on my heels and pinky toes, and I was miserable. I switched to my running shoes that I had very luckily also packed along. I felt less stylish, but it was so much more comfortable. And this is a good segue into my next item, which is blister band-aids. Sometimes you can do everything right in the shoe department, but you still get a blister. It happens. Florida weather can be hot and humid, and your feet can get much sweatier than they did when you were walking in your home climate, and you can end up with a blister. Blister band-aids, like ones by the Band-Aid brand or Compeed, are in line with something that I would bring on a long-distance hiking trip or pack for an ultramarathon race. And it might sound silly, but I think it's fair to think of these large Florida theme parks more in line with athletic endeavors. You might not be a person who is used to being on your feet or walking considerable distances at a time, and then you're thrown into a large theme park environment where suddenly you're not just standing all day, but you're also walking 4, 6, 8 miles for multiple days in a row. And if you're visiting Disney World, I'd say even 10 miles a day isn't out of the question.
Say that again, Liz.
I'm so tired. We're in the carousel of progress, and I want to take a nap.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, but the cast member said this is her personal favorite show, so I can't take a nap.
Because it would be rude.
These theme park trips are not cheap, we all know that, and you don't want to spend all that money and then be miserable and in pain. And I strongly feel that you will have a better time if you condition yourself and be prepared. And if you end up with a blister, these blister band-aids can help you protect and treat your blisters without slowing you down so much. And then next on our list, it's sort of a no-brainer to wear sunscreen, but we all need reminding, myself included. We are big fans of making this process as convenient as possible, which is why we usually bring the aerosol spray sunscreen. The sport or waterproof kind is best, I think, because I don't know if you've heard or not, but it is quite hot in Florida sometimes, and you might get kind of sweaty throughout the day. Or perhaps you're going on the water rides. In the same vein as sunscreen, I will also add that a hat and sunglasses are a good idea. The concrete at Universal Studios can make it so bright. Seuss Landing is truly unbearable without sunglasses. And last on our list, it's not a specific thing, but you'll want to pack a plan for the water rides.
Just get absolutely hit in the face.
I know. Have a plan for the water rides and pack accordingly. The water rides at Universal are not playing around. You will get soaked. And then you'll have little kids up on a bridge spraying water at you in a little kiddie play area, just rubbing salt on the wound. So maybe you pack a poncho, maybe you put your phone in a plastic baggie or waterproof case, or maybe you bring extra socks to change into. Maybe you go back to your hotel in the middle of the day, change into your Crocs and socks, head back to Islands of Adventure, and stick your socks in a plastic bag before going on the water rides. My first time at Universal Studios, I did not have a plan. I wore my sneakers with socks on the ride. I got completely drenched, and then I spent way too much money on those pay-for dryers the theme parks have outside the rides, and my socks were still nowhere near being close to comfortable for the rest of the day. But now, I am smarter than I was, and you are smarter than I was. Okay guys, that does it for this video of items that I feel are essential to bring to Universal Studios Orlando when you're visiting. I hope you liked the video, I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, maybe consider liking the video and maybe even subscribing to the channel. If you do, thank you so much. And thanks for watching, and take care. See you next time. Bye.